Good evening. It is Thursday, June 22nd, 2023. This is the North Andover Board of Health. Officially call the meeting to order. We have all of our board members present this evening, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So the first item on our agenda this evening is a continuation of our public hearing from our May meeting. Can I please have a motion to open?
Motion to open public meeting.
Great.
Seconded.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We are officially reopening the public hearing, which is Mr. and Ms. Scott, 39 Hawkins Road. Brian, do you want to lead us off?
Yep. Well, we have their attorney here to discuss what we've done over the last month since the last meeting, and I will pass it off to him, but we sent you the documents that he prepared and sent to us this past month.
Great.
Good evening, Madam Chair and Director and members of the board. My name is John Iacocca. I represent Tom and Maureen Scott, 39 Hawkins Lane. Tom and Maureen sold their property to the new owners, and at that time, they had a septic system in place which had a deed restriction. We were here before you in May discussing the deferral of compliance with that, the sale of the property and the requirement to have the system improved, removed, and rebuilt. The buyers are in possession. It's a young couple. They have they've been notified of the meeting, and they chose, to deliver everything through me. We drafted a new deed restriction, which we discussed with their counsel. They reviewed, and they've actually signed it and sent it to me. I have the original in my possession. I set it up where we released the prior deed restriction, which affected the Scotts, and we're going to record a new restriction, very similar terms, exactly the same terms that were there before, and they've signed it, and I can get it recorded, and that's where we are.
Okay. I think that's what we're looking for. We're looking for, obviously, acknowledgement from the new homeowners that they would take on the burden of replacing the system when they sell the house, which was the original deed restriction. So if we can do it simultaneously, record one, discharge the other, then I think that is what we're kind of aiming for here, just so that the new buyers understand what's going on, and they're all set with it, and they're happy with it, then I'm happy with it. The system's still functioning, so until it fails or until they sell, they will use the system until they have to replace it or move.
Correct.
It's the same number of occupants, both situations.
Actually, yes. There was, what, two before
I
and two now?
actually think it's going to be less occupants.
Okay.
There's only a young couple, they have no children, and they're starting their family, so,
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's a big system, too.
yeah.
So do you have the,
Yeah, so I have the original discharge signed and notarized by Tom Scott as the owner,
Okay.
and then I have the new deed restriction signed and notarized by the new homeowners.
okay,
Hoping that the members of the board can sign,
yep,
and, I can circulate that right now.
sure.
I'm assuming the authority is appropriate right here.
Pin right or
Yeah, it's a
otherwise?
board,
Board decision.
Yep.
Point
Okay.
of information, is there a pin right to this, or does it really matter?
I
One
think we have to
signature.
vote on it first before we
Yeah, we have
sign
to just
it.
vote on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So any other discussion, questions?
I'll make a motion to close the public meeting.
Yeah, seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now, I can take a motion if we want to move forward.
So-
Discharge the original deed restriction and accept and sign the new deed restriction.
So,
Do a motion for that.
A second.
All those in favor?
aye.
Okay, unanimous vote.
Thank
So
you.
now we can sign.
Yep,
And I'm assuming the board will allow me to do all the recording, and then I will submit it to you?
correct.
Okay.
Submit me a copy of the new deed restriction with the book and page number on it.
Okay, will do.
We'll do that next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna even, if it's all set, I might even try to do it tomorrow.
Perfect.
It's just one signature, right? There's not two. I just want to make sure we have
Just,
everything.
yeah, your
Oh,
deed
you have,
restriction.
okay.
And there's another one.
There's another one.
Both sides of it.
Oh, just two. Places for signature?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I probably should have my glasses on.
Not used to having the red, yellow stickies sign here.
Or the electronic, I feel like I'm always doing, yes, that, I'll type my signature. Okay. Anything else on this topic, Brian, or?
That is it.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on our agenda today, we're moving into old business, and we have updates on grants.
Thank you. All right, let's see, where were we? On my agenda.
Grants.
Grants.
Thank you. Let's see, so we've got movement on both grants, which is fantastic. We have gone and actually hired a shared service coordinator, and she started on Monday. And that has been getting up to speed this week and hit the ground running, taking the reins on this thing, and it's been a blessing. So we are in the final stages of the first session of this grant. FY '24 starts soon. We are proposing a new budget for the next grant year. They've allocated us potentially more funds, up to $530,000 per year. So we're trying to come up with a game plan as to how to utilize that money. It was $297 this past year. We didn't spend very much because it took a long time to get the grant set up and get the staff hired. We've hired 1 out of 3. We are proposing to increase the public health nurse, the regional nurse shared by the 6 communities, up to full-time. That's one of the things we've agreed on so far. And we're looking to see what else we can do with the additional funding. So we're in the process of proposing a budget and work plan to DPH, and hopefully we can get this thing ironed out and done in the next couple weeks. But now that I have a staff person working on it, it makes it much easier to get things done. Second grant, we are in the final stages of the community health assessment and our community health improvement plan. That should be done actually probably next week. So we will have our marching orders and a game plan to see how we can improve things in the town and the community for the areas that the residents wanted addressed first. So mental health across the spectrum, DEI, and affordable housing were the top 3 things that the community wanted. So we've come up with various steps and stages and actions to address these as best as we can. And it's going to take different departments and working with different civic groups and community engagement, and there's a long, tedious process of getting our fingers into everything. So this is going to be fun to do. I know that Michelle's been working on it for the past year with us, so thank you. And I wrote Brawl into participating in a couple meetings too.
Fun.
Yep.
Necessary.
So I hope you have the action plan done or reviewed and approved hopefully next week. I'll send that to the board, and then we can start getting it out to the community. We'll probably do something on the website, maybe do some presentations at the senior center, and kind of get this thing up and running. So we'll have our marching orders for the next several years ironed out to give us some direction, somewhere to put our resources.
Now, will this benefit inside the schools as well?
The schools are part of it.
Okay.
So they have at least one thing that will help the schools do is probably secure more funding for things that are noted in this plan, because it does talk about teens and youth, behavioral health, mental health, substance abuse, the whole gamut. So they can use this to secure additional funding through DESE and other civic organizations to bring them in and hopefully help them get what they need to.
Excellent.
Yeah. Any other questions? Our new health inspector is starting Monday. Janine Pierce, I can't wait. She came very highly recommended. She interviewed extremely well. I checked her references, and she knows a lot of the same coworkers that I've worked with for decades, who all speak very highly of her and her work ethic and her attention to detail and her demeanor when she's doing inspections, because obviously inspectors can take on different personalities throughout different towns, and some are a little bit less cordial than others, but she is extremely friendly and does her inspections thoroughly and is able to work with contractors and business owners. So I'm looking forward to that.
It's exciting.
Yep, definitely. And the last update, Tony should be back in a couple weeks, so that'll be a breath of fresh air too. Aside from that, those are my updates. I'll pass off to Carolyn.
This past week, we had the mammogram van. We had several people attend. We have like one COVID case, but I don't want to talk about it. We're gonna get ready to put our sunscreen dispensers up at the parks. And that's it.
Yeah, so we got brand new sunscreen dispensers this year. The ones that we had were a few years old, and they changed the sunscreen inserts, so we had to buy new ones.
So nice of them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. Did you have a question, John?
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
This document requires a notary public. I'm a notary public, and I just wanted to make sure that you're okay with me signing off as a notary republic on all your signatures.
Sounds
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I was gonna have Tony do it, but she's not in, so.
Okay.
Because she's our notary.
Okay.
But one step we don't have to do. That's good. I can't, it's been a crazy month, obviously, but quick meeting, which is nice. I can't think of any other updates at this point. Anybody have anything they want to discuss or talk about? Any newspaper articles you read that?
No, Joe?
No.
Yeah, no.
No? Anybody else have anything?
And billing over 50 consulting hours a week right now, so, no, I
So things are good.
I heard about a sub or something, that was about the.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So what do you think of the meetings, the Zoom meetings for the community health assessment?
I thought the consultants were very effective.
Yep.
I thought it was a good process, and, I mean, it is a time, it is a time commitment.
Yes.
But given that, I thought we made a lot of progress, and we got pretty good clarity on what some of the next steps are, and that's the most important thing.
And
Awesome.
I wasn't MIA, they forgot about me for everything for the last month. They took
That's-
me off of everything. And then they were like, can you please provide feedback? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. What meeting, what feedback?
I know. There's some oops on their part, I think.
Yes, it was not you, it was definitely
Yep.
them.
Yeah, but I thought they were, I thought the management of it, I'm a consultant anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say what I think, but, I thought they did a good job of shepherding the process, so.
Yeah, I mean, it was a
Went
long
quickly,
process. They moved it along, they kept us on a
Lots of
really
cats.
strict
Lots of
timeline.
cats.
They did.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, they did a lot of work over the last year. And they made me do a lot of work over the last year. I'm like, oh, another meeting this week? It was like every week there was something going on, so.
Does the town still have, she was like a mental health
Oh, yeah.
counselor?
Yep, Deanna,
Yeah, yeah.
we also have Crystal too,
Okay.
so we have two.
Do you think there'll be more funding put into?
One of the
Yeah.
things we talked about was getting more funding for additional resources in that specific area. So whether it's a full-time staff person or grant funding, something, but there definitely needs to be more help in that area.
And this should help everyone with grants, right? Because
Mhm.
then you can say, we did a community health,
Oh, yeah, yeah, we
like
did a
needs
year-long
assessment,
study.
we
and-
did, yeah.
Cross
Yep.
the Ts and dot the
Right,
Is.
right,
you know?
right. This
Yeah,
isn't just
exactly.
like, we're just throwing ideas out
Yep.
there. Right, that's great.
Yeah, so we'll have a nice giant thick report to read when we get it back next week.
That's awesome.
Can you, it's free to send along to, like you can email to all the
When
board
we get
members?
it, yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna get it out, we're gonna distribute it, we're gonna get it out there, we're gonna, get as much feedback and assistance implementing it as we can.
Cool,
Great.
excellent.
Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Wow.
I
Second.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
That was
Aye.
awesome.
Motion is adjourned.